Doug Lamarie's Tim Bielik, Bill Landis, talking the Ohio State offensive line. Isaiah Prince at right tackle, normal. Demetrius Knox at right guard, normal. The rest of this offensive line, the starting offensive line that was announced on Monday, interesting, led by Michael Jordan at center, which you've been on for a long time. What do you think of the fact, now that we know it's happening, that Michael Jordan, 2-year starter at left guard, is now your starting center?
Not surprising. Like you said, I've been on it for a while. It's not an automatic good thing. It's a very tough transition for Michael Jordan to make. As far as I know, he's never played center in his life. He didn't start snapping, from what we've been told, until this training camp started. Very little bit in the spring, but that was just sort of like emergency stuff because in case they needed a fourth center, and now he's the first center. So I think I love offensive line play, so maybe I'm biased. I think it's the most interesting thing on the team right now moving forward is how he handles that spot because he has two essential practice games before he has to go on the road. And what will be a loud stadium against TCU, it won't be hostile necessarily, but it'll be loud, and he has to make the calls and then go to Penn State 2 weeks later. And that's a lot on Michael Jordan's shoulders, and I don't know if he expected to be in this position 3 months ago or even a month ago, but he's in it now. So it's something to monitor and something that's going to drastically impact how good this offense is. And
something that the point you have made and we have made along the way is that Pat Elflein and Billy Price both did the same thing the past 2 years. They were starting guards who moved to center, but they both prepped for that. Everyone knew that was coming. They prepped for that for 2 years. Michael Jordan did not prep for this. This is not just the same thing we've seen the last couple of years. Left tackle, very interesting. Thayer Munford is the left tackle. They gave him that job in the spring as a sophomore who was the backup right tackle last year. And now we hear that it's Thayer Munford and Joshua Alabi fighting at left tackle because Munford has been battling nagging injuries. Tim Bielik, should people be nervous about this left tackle spot?
I think so, and it's dependent on Munford's status. And when we saw him in open practice about a week and a half ago, he was off to the side. He was kind of doing stuff on the air bike and boxing drills on the pads and things like that. And we saw Munford, obviously, in the spring play left tackle. Did some solid things. I think we were kind of surprised by that initially in the spring, and now kind of expecting him to be the starting left tackle. To see that he's banged up before his first start of the season, it's not a good sign because for a guy who's not only making his first start, but to make it on the left tackle, which is the most important position on the offensive line, you want him to be 100%. You don't want him to be unsure of his body. You don't want him to be unsure of how he's doing things physically, on top of the mental strain that comes with being a left tackle for a quarterback in Dwayne Haskins, who's not as mobile as the guys they've had in the past. So I think there's concern there just as far as you just don't want to have injury questions about left tackle among your other positions on the offensive line.
And again, this was the position we assumed Isaiah Prince was going to move to left tackle this year. They decided to keep him at right tackle, and everybody got really excited about Thayer Munford, who has never started a college game. We're not saying you shouldn't be excited about Thayer Munford, but even beyond the injury, this is a nice reminder of pull back the reins a bit about assuming a guy who's never started and is only a true sophomore is going to be awesome. Joshua Alabi, that's just not a plan. That was never a plan that, who's your left tackle in 2018? Joshua Alabi. Things happen. We're just telling you, it doesn't mean Joshua Alabi can't do it. That is way far from the plan, from when they lose. Who was the left tackle last year?
Jamarco Jones.
God. I'm getting old. When they lose Jamarco Jones and they said, who's going to be the left tackle in 2018? Nobody in this building, in the media, anywhere said, well, the answer is Joshua Alabi. We're just telling you that's where you might be on Saturday, and we don't know how this is going to shake out. That was never the plan. Malcolm Pridgeon at left guard, I think that's a decent sign. Brandon Bowen, it's unfortunate he's still battling injury problems from last year. It seems like they like Malcolm Pridgeon, though. It seems like Malcolm Pridgeon wasn't just handed that job as an emergency. It felt like Malcolm Pridgeon, the way they talked about it, because we sure as heck didn't see it, won that job, earned that job. He's a guy that we thought 2 years ago coming out of junior college might be a starter, got delayed in his progress a little bit. I think that's an interesting development, but not a problem. Center, I don't think it's a problem. I think it's interesting. Left guard, not what we expected. I think is going to be okay. Left tackle, you're allowed to be worried. We'll talk to you guys later at cleveland.com.